Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to April. Welcome to Mercury in retrograde. I know it feels like some sort of cruel cosmic joke that we're entering into Mercury retrograde on April 1st. However, unfortunately, it's not a joke. We will be in Mercury in retrograde from April 1st to the 25th. And then we're going to take a couple of days to shift that energy. So we're going to feel this Mercury in retrograde energy for most of April. I know many of us have been feeling like we've been in Mercury retrograde since the beginning of the year. We entered into 2024 on Mercury in retrograde. So it just doesn't feel like we've ever shifted that energy, especially with some of the technology, computer stuff that we've been dealing with. Know that this is the first entry of a retrograde in 2024. We haven't had a planet go into retrograde yet. We're into the beginning of April. So that does say something about 2024. We did have a few retrogrades that did enter with us into this new year. However, this is the first planet that has entered retrograde. Now, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but know that, like anything else, challenge doesn't mean that we should just duck our head and try and hide. We need to meet this challenge because any planetary retrograde does offer us an opportunity to embrace different situations, different energies in a different way because, well, especially with the personal planets, they're a big energy. They impact us and work with us on really big and important aspects. When we have a retrograde, we have that ability to work differently. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. So with this reading, I will look at not only what you can expect, but also how you can overcome some of those challenges so that you can see that success. You can see some shifting. Now, the cards I have here, I like to use this deck for Mercury in retrograde readings. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot. I don't really like the black, like the high contrast with the splash of color. This was a gifted deck and it just doesn't resonate well with me, so that's why I don't use it a lot. Yet it does resonate really well with the Mercury in retrograde. I know it does have a really big following. The people of the who have created the Wild Unknown Tarot also have a number of like oracle decks and stuff that people really enjoy. It's just not something that is it's not my favorite deck, if you will. It is my favorite deck for this reading, but it's not my favorite deck in general. And then I have, adding in more color here, this is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. I find that, especially with the retrograde, we need to know how to work with our energies so that we can deal with these energies that we can't change, that we can't amend. We can work with our energies, though, so that we can see the best outcome. And I think that's the most important piece, is that we want that best outcome. And with this month pretty much being in retrograde, and primarily, well, it starts off in the Aries energy and it ends in the Taurus. However, Aries was pretty clear. We need to get up and get going. We need to be working on these things. Stagnation is not an option. So I'm interested to see what this retrograde is going to bring us. So let's check this out. Let's look at what you guys can expect from this time in April with Mercury in retrograde. So this would technically be the second Mercury in retrograde in 2024. So we're kind of halfway done there, guys. There's only, I think, a couple more. I want to say there's, well, 3 entries, but 4 Mercury retrogrades. Let's look at that. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Yeah, so April, August, and November. So that we're halfway through, because we did enter the year like honestly, I think it went back direct on like January 2nd or something. We had Mercury in retrograde for most of Christmas, and that really did suck. We're not going to have it this year. January 2nd. I knew it was right at the beginning of January. So yeah, we're getting there, guys. Yeehaw. The 5 of Wands. It is in reversal. The Wheel of Fortune. This is the year card, guys. So anytime you see that, it talks about that journey of what 2024 talks about. And it is that shift and change. And I love the fact that this wheel looks like it's got a lot of extra gunk. There's a lot of straggly bits. And it feels like 2024 is getting rid of some of them straggly bits. And Mercury in retrograde isn't going to stop. It's going to help us with those straggly bits. This is the 4 of Swords in reversal. And then finally, we have the Empress in reversal. We have lots of major arcana here, guys. That can really only mean one thing, that bigger picture piece. And like I said, it feels like we're going to get some of them scraggly bits burned away, in a way, I guess. So the 5 of Wands talks about conflict. There's going to be internal conflict. There's going to be external conflict. We know that. We can start to use our tools to minimize that internal conflict and start to radiate that high vibration, which I know is going to be really hard. However, we can do the best we can, starting to use our tools so that we are on that highest vibration possible, so we're not reacting or falling into that, oh my God, it's Mercury in retrograde, nothing's working, people are reactive, and it's hard. Technology isn't working. Okay, there's going to be communication issues. Will your throat chakra get a good workout in the next month? Absolutely. However, you can use your tools. You know that any blue crystal works with your throat chakra. Warm things like tea or even lemon water can really help to clear out some of that scratchy grittiness that can occur in your throat. Grounding yourself. Hello, the Empress. To support us so that we're not so reactive. That internal conflict is minimized. We can use our problem-solving skills, our creativity to work with those around us. We can't change external. We can only work on self. I think that's part of the message that we've got in this bigger energy, bigger, and I say big picture, but really it's a microscopic small piece that we get here. but these bigger patterns. The instability that comes in with Mercury in retrograde. It really impacts us. We don't do well with it. Yet at the same time, we are given opportunities that can easily be overwhelmed or bombarded with Mercury direct, because it is a personal planet. Mercury in retrograde helps us to think outside the box, use our creativity, use our tools and our skills in different ways. And that's part of degunking the wheel. We've seen in the last 4 months us kind of greasing that wheel, getting things going, helping the cog to flow better. Mercury in retrograde is going to support us with that. Now, Four of Swords in reversal talks about the instability that we're going to feel as well, especially with the Empress. But it also talks about taking that time for you. And this is important, having compassion for you. Let's be honest, we are usually the hardest on ourselves. And this is very true when it comes to a retrograde like this. When we have a personal planet, and our personal planets are Mercury, Venus, and Mars, when they're in retrograde, ooh, we're stupid hard on ourselves. Having that compassion for you will support you and strengthening you so that you can use that third eye thinking center, so that you can overcome some of that negativity, some of those external challenges, and especially those internal challenges. That compassion is coming in 2 different ways, in that everyday and in that bigger energy, that bigger picture piece. Like I said, we're our hardest critics, and it is becoming more and more evident. It is time to treat ourselves with the respect, the compassion that we need. This compassion, this respect will help to clear out. And I love the fact we've got this, the third eye thinking center, because that is exactly where those swords hit home, is right in our third eye. It talks about the knowledge that we have, the skills and abilities and how we utilize them, our creativity, because it is truly a thinking center that brings in knowledge from so many different elements. So taking the time, especially during Mercury in retrograde, to clear self out, help to clear out that wheel, help that process so that it becomes more smooth and a little bit, well, it brings things into focus a bit, and we see things slide together a bit better. On top of our throat chakra, we also have our root chakra. Lots of instability here. So black and red crystals really support us with that root, making sure we're grounded and stay grounded, making sure that we are breathing so we can think things through. We're not being reactive. We're starting to use that third eye thinking center. We have the strength, the energy to do so because we've had the compassion for self. So Mercury in retrograde in April here is really looking at helping us to shift some patterns, some energies within ourselves. Will that help externally, working with others and working towards our goals? Absolutely, because we feel stronger about self and our relationship with self is working better. Should say we have a 3 and a 4 right beside each other with a 5 out in left field. Taking it slow. Taking it slow will support you in being successful through Mercury retrograde. We want that one step in front of the other. Like I said earlier, we can't just be that ostrich and stick our head in the sand and just wait for Mercury retrograde to be over. When we do this, we put a bullseye on our butt, and that's when we have the tower come into play and the universe kick us into gear. We don't want that. That would just add to some really low vibrational energies. Taking it slow and steady. Don't rush through this. Use your tools. Strengthen you. All right, let's look at what else will help. I know it's one of those things that we like to do, is like we want to run through this. Yet if we run, we're not going to break patterns. We're not going to learn. We're going to just, again, it's another coping mechanism of just rushing through. And that doesn't help us. All right. What did I say about isolation? This one was in reversal. We don't want that isolation. Yes, people can be a challenge during Mercury retrograde because they are reactive. They're charged up. So use your tools. Have energetic protections. On this channel, I've got lots of supports. I've got lots of grounding meditations and healings. I've got a meditation in my Just You and Me playlist where there is a fantastic protection meditation that can help you with some of that external energy that is overwhelming. We need to be able to work with our supports, even if they're struggling. Because when they're struggling, that's when we need to step in and support them too, so their wheel keeps going. Mysticism. Talking about the unknown elements and opportunities that Mercury in retrograde will support us with. Like I said, we need to clear that third eye thinking center. And that is exactly where this card hits home. This one hits on our throat chakra. This is our third eye chakra. We need to be working with those elements of unknown. Those elements of unknown bring in fear, which does activate that internal energy. However, the unknown also supports us with the change that we're looking for. Miracle! Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of miracles. And I like when I pulled the card, you couldn't see it, but you can now see that figure. There will be miracles. There will be a lot of opportunities for amazing growth, prosperity, and abundance. Again, we just need to get going on it. Have that compassion for self and work with the wheel. Joy. Don't lose sight. Like I said, we can't just fear this time. We need to enjoy this time. Without enjoying it, well, you're not going to get the work you want to get done. You won't be able to embrace those opportunities that are coming forward because you're going to get stuck in some of those swirly thoughts. Now, I didn't really talk about the Empress card that much, but the Empress card talks about fertility, growth, prosperity. And like I said, there were a lot of opportunities. I don't think I had mentioned that. I thought about it, but I didn't mention it. Again, yay for Mercury in retrograde. It does give us challenges. And it's okay to say, I don't think I mentioned that. And it's also okay to say, you know what? I'm not sure I'm conveying myself in a good way. What are you hearing me say? Use your head. Use that third eye thinking center. Use your words, which is going to be a bear. Like I said, your your beautiful throat chakra, it gets put through the ringer when Mercury's in retrograde. Another important, well, they're all important, but another chakra that's come up here, this is your solar plexus. It's our drive. It's our ability to, that's that internal flame that we have. Of course, it comes in on that yellow. Citrine is amazing. Any yellow crystal will hit home on that internal flame of yours, giving you that perseverance and drive to do what you want to do, especially when we stay in that high vibration. Now, I do have teachings and healings on all the chakras on the channel here. And I should say, I am not a monetized channel. This is all content that I'm giving you with no strings attached. Any adverts that you guys are getting, that's all YouTube, not me. I know I get a lot of comments on great meditation, love it, don't like the commercials. That's not me. I don't do anything with the ads. All right, let's look at what else is going to help you and how we can get the most out of this time. Because it does bring in lots of opportunities. Are we clearly going to be able to see them? Are they going to be very predominant and easy to access? No. However, sometimes a little bit of work really pays off in the end. And that's what we're going to see in April, is that this energy, these opportunities, this work, it's really going to pay off in the end. Nine of Swords in reversal. Will this energy bring up mental health issues, present and past? Yes. Can you overcome them and work through them? Yes. It's in reversal. Sometimes reversal talks about a challenge. Sometimes reversal talks about understanding and walking away from it. The Devil. Will our lower vibrational self run ragged and try and push us over? Yes. Do we have the tools and skills to combat it? Yes. We already talked about minimizing and lowering that internal conflict. Will it be a bigger battle than what we'd once thought? Yes. However, it's a battle we have won in the past, and we can be successful, especially if we stay in that high vibration. The Two of Wands, it's in reversal. Kind of looks like chopsticks in reversal, actually. Now that can't be unseen, sorry. There are going to be a lot of opportunities, a lot of decisions that need to be made. They're not going to be clearly understood, the outcomes clearly lined out. You're not going to have a proposal that has all the information that you're going to want. There is going to be a lot of uncertainty, a lot of stuff that you're not going to understand, and that's okay. Taking it slow and working through it will help. Like I said, got the 3 and the 4 here. Taking it really slow will help you be able to work with the uncertainty and make those decisions. The 4 of Cups in reversal. Well, not in reversal, in upright. 4 of Cups talks about that Holy Grail being offered to us. Many times, this is the card that has the guy under the tree and is looking at the 3 cups going, oh my God, is this it? We're going to feel that, oh my God, is this it? However, with some perseverance, with some dedication and I think it comes back to that acceptance and compassion for self. We're going to be able to start to feel those life-giving aspects. We're going to start to feel that Holy Grail come into play. Additionally, the Four of Cups talks about a tool that I hadn't mentioned that is going to be so important over the next 3.5 weeks. And that's intentional bathing. Clearing out the energies, those external pieces that really start to aggravate those lower vibrational aspects. Clearing it out. Not holding on to external energies, other people's energies, that's going to derail you, that's going to connect into pieces that you don't want to deal with right now. We want to embrace the opportunities, the growth, the development, clearing out this gunk so that wheel moves forward. Also, in a pinch, guys, if you're in a situation where you can't do that intentional bathing, running your hand underwater will help to alleviate some of that energy, especially if you're having something like an anxiety attack or a panic attack, or you're feeling overwhelmed. It helps bring you back into control of you. Use your tools. Use your head. Don't allow that mental health, the anxiety, the depression come up and derail you. The compassion, that's important. It comes with understanding. Where are you at? What's happening? And what, this is important, what will help you to move forward and be successful, be able to embrace the prosperity, the abundance, the shifting and changing that is occurring. Because shifting and changing, it too, it amplifies and aggravates that anxiety, those fears. Know that you've got this. Take it slow and steady. Mercury in retrograde is offering you some amazing opportunities. It is going to be up to you to take those steps forward. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. I hope that this reading helped you to understand what you can expect from Mercury in retrograde. Now, if you did like this session, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought. Let me know what your thoughts are of Mercury in retrograde. And if you haven't done so, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little red bell. I have so much more content coming forward. You don't want to miss any of it, including a really helpful tool that's going to be posted tomorrow in regards to change and supporting us with it. Again, I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and exploring Mercury in retrograde. Know that you have the ability to be successful. It's just up to you to be that active participant. Until tomorrow, my friends.